hate to admit it, but I have the worst road rage, both on the road and off. It's ridiculous. So you can bet when I see those dumb driver videos on TikTok, I wreck, pun intended. And it doesn't get any better when the next video I scroll to is covering the subject of human trafficking. Over the past few months, video after video has caught my attention, with users posting their experiences with the subject and even going as far as to create tutorials on how not to get trafficked. TikTok's hashtag analysis has shown that hashtag human trafficking awareness has gotten over 841.5 million views on the platform. And based on some of the videos this hashtag has been associated with, people like the director of Freedom USA have begun to raise concern, stating that these videos either stem from a sense of moral urgency or a desire for clout. And I don't know about you, but seeing the words human trafficking and trending all in the same frame have me incredibly concerned about the lack of correct information on such a serious topic. So today, we're first going to break down what human trafficking is and what it isn't. Then, we're going to look up how social media has skewed our view on the subject before finally learning the truth about trafficking. First, we need to break down what human trafficking is and what it isn't. According to the Blue Campaign, human trafficking is defined as involving the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. One of the myths, according to the hotline, is who is targeted for such acts. Think about it this way. If I say the term trafficking, most people's minds would go directly to female and child victims, because that's all we see on billboards, TV, and TikTok. But the truth is, human trafficking affects men, women, and gender minorities of all ages. And the International Labor Organization estimates that there are 40.3 million victims of human trafficking globally. In 2020, the Human Trafficking Hotline recorded 10,583 reported cases of human trafficking, with 8,400 female cases, 1,200 male cases, and 86 gender minority cases. When looking at these targets, we also need to look at their situations. The hotline reports that individuals such as runaway and homeless youth, foreign nationals, and those with violent and traumatic pasts are the most vulnerable to human trafficking because they are the easiest to manipulate. Seeing this, traffickers rarely use the kidnapping tactic. So contrary to popular opinion, this is not a grab-and-go situation in the Walmart parking lot. Things like air tags and strategically placed Lululemon belt bags by your car have not been connected to trafficking. Seriously, Google it. In fact, Alicia Peters, an associate professor of anthropology, has stated that she has never heard of one of these big box stores as a place for trafficking, meaning that situations depicted in videos across multiple platforms either aren't true or they are incredibly rare. Human trafficking is almost always perpetrated by someone close to the victim, and Polaris reports that most often these victims were trafficked by members of their own family and intimate partners. Take the story of Sam, a man whose sexual abuse began when he was only 3 years old, at the hands of his own father. His father told him that he loved him, and Sam believed him because it was all he knew. His father groomed him, gave him to other men at parties, and threatened to kill him with a special pill and pass it off as suicide if he told. Sam endured this abuse for years, only continuing because he was scared and wanted to make his father proud, just like any 3-year-old boy would, all in his own home. But this is only one example. Relationships online have also been connected to trafficking. And Polaris reports that traffickers will often use the tactic of boyfriending, a method that can be used by any gender to create an insincere relationship with their victim. This can present itself in extreme flattery, promises of gifts or advancements in life, and assurance that they, and they alone, are the only one that truly cares for the victim. To them, this is a game designed to strip a victim of anything that could prevent their trafficker from getting what they want. Human trafficking is profoundly adaptable, and the rise of social media has made it easier for them to target their victims. Polaris has made statements about this adaptability, saying that since the pandemic, online recruitment has increased a significant 22%. Sergeant Philip Krinsky of the Phoenix Police Department also made a statement, saying that trafficking is a problem and social media is just a breeding ground for it. Take, for example, the case of Willie Obadiah, a 32-year-old man who groomed a 17-year-old girl in foster care through Facebook. He eventually convinced the teen to meet him, and she was trafficked, advertised for sale online, and raped by 8 different men. She barely managed to escape, and Obadia was only sentenced to 20 years in prison. Speaking of social media, we need to identify how it has affected our view on trafficking. Hashtag human trafficking awareness has been circulating around multiple social media platforms, including TikTok and Facebook, attached to videos seemingly trying to warn other people. However, taking a closer look at some of these posts has had people questioning if they are actually true. For example, a video posted by user Janelle and Kate got over 1.8 million likes and thousands of comments saying things like, "Thanks for the info, and this is why I never go anywhere without my boyfriend." The video? A 1-minute compilation of all the ways traffickers will try to abduct their victims, ranging from putting money on windshields, zip ties on handles, and carts by your car. However, even though thousands took it seriously at face value, this video was a parody, made to make fun of all of the fake instances that people have tried exploiting for views. Similarly on Facebook, a user posted photos of a white van with no handle and its license plate. Part of her post captioned, "Human trafficking is real." However, when these photos were investigated by Michigan State Police, the post was found to be untrue. It was not connected to human trafficking or anything illegal. It was just a crappy white van and owners that suck at parking. Posts like these create a large problem in the world of human trafficking, because though they might have good intentions, they have the wrong information. Dr. Cynthia Rizzo, an assistant professor in social work, has stated that misinformation harms individuals and communities experiencing exploitation by redirecting needed attention and resources away from intervention efforts. Take Polaris, for example. Polaris has had to dedicate an entire page of its online site to myths and rumors circulating about human trafficking, stating that sometimes these stories are spread by well-meaning people who are truly concerned. Other times, rumors are put forward by individuals with other agendas. And that's the truth. Posts like these create a paranoia both on social media and in our lives. For example, when TikTokers start posting about things like zip ties, white passenger vans, and abandoned car seats, false or not, they are spreading awareness for abduction, not human trafficking. So when they post these things with the hashtag human trafficking awareness, they are now spreading misinformation, causing others to look for the wrong situation instead of the true warning signs. It's a vicious cycle, and information on such a serious topic shouldn't be taken lightly, but instead should be researched on credible sites such as the Blue Campaign or Polaris, sites run by nonprofit organizations dedicated to the mission of ending trafficking, not sites just created to earn clout. Finally, we need to face the reality of the situation and figure out the truth behind trafficking. While social media has been pointing the finger at zip ties and white passenger vans, the real red flags are a lot different than they described. The Human Trafficking Hotline has an entire page of its online site dedicated to helping people beginning new relationships or ending ones that have already reached a final manipulative outcome. It includes links to apps like BeSafe, a free online safety program that will alert people that you're closest with that you need help, sending them your location along with video and audio of your situation. However, even though these resources are available to everyone, Polaris reports that most often the only people we can actually help are those that we interact most with, because the two key words in identification are context and proximity. We first broke down what human trafficking is and what it isn't. Then, we looked up how social media has skewed our view on the subject before finally learning the truth about trafficking. So it's definitely safe to say that my road rage is not the biggest problem, and TikTok isn't the greatest source of information. Because when it comes down to it, social media is an amazing way to spread information. But one wrong post could cause a whole lot of trouble with traffic. Thank you.